The 5+ star Sagafjord reflects Cunard's century-and-a-half reputation of unsurpassed service. Convenient air-sea programs make it simple to join the Sagafjord at exotic world ports. Here, we begin our very personal story.
I come down to the port whenever there's a cruise ship in port and look them all over. And I don't think there's any comparison between any other cruise ship and this particular ship. Not just the appearance of it, but the personnel and the type of person that is taking the cruise. Right after I got out of college, I worked as a naval architect for a year and had an opportunity to work on ship's drawings. And I find that the lines of this particular ship, particularly the aft deck, are very classical. Their attention to detail is so wonderful that you really miss it when you go home. You're sorry to leave the ship because when you go home, you're not going to get that attention. It's a service that you get accustomed to it and never want to leave it.
This is a very nice cabin. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Prior to Cunard buying the ship, it was Norwegian American Cruise Lines. I was on the ship for several cruises. The service is every bit as good. Everything about the ship is fine.
I've been on the Sagafjord now for 10 years. It's a very good atmosphere because everybody feels home on the Sagafjord. It's like a big family. We have a few, they even stayed longer, 15 years or 20 years.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, friend. So we have a look at what's going on today.
I'm the chief steward. I have been with the Sagafjord from 75, you know.
Because for lunch we have the fettuccine.
A pass.
One spade.
We have many repeaters. We have up to 75% some of the cruises. People who have been there year after year. Of course, you know about the lady who stayed here for 4 years. We had a lady, she stayed with the ship for 4 consecutive years.
The most important thing to the passenger and to myself and to Cunard is that the travel agent is notified the moment the passenger decides to rebook another cruise.
When I saw your name on the manifest going...
The cruise sales manager on board is an expert in planning.
Now where are we going?
Alaska. We're doing 10 and 11-day cruises. 11-day cruise from Vancouver to Anchorage. We do another tour to the Taku Lodge. We fly you over the ice caps in a little float plane, land you in a beautiful lake. Eagles all over the place.
Right.
Salmon jumping everywhere, especially around Sitka.
We've been so comfortable in our room, but I'd like something up on the sun deck, I think, with the terrace and the deck.
I'm equipped to tell them what every cabin is like on the Vistafjord as well as here, in addition to what all the cruises are like.
I started taking the ship several years ago, actually for a birthday cruise. It was a short 4-day cruise to nowhere. We left Los Angeles and just sailed out around Rock Island and came back. But it was just enough so that I got hooked. Actually, I came back to see the ship 4 days later, and I came on board just to visit people on the ship and stayed on board for the 3rd cruise. I didn't get off. I just sailed another 4 days. I particularly enjoy painting, and I sit out on the deck with watercolors and sketch the ports and some of the various places that we've visited.
Time in port is always rich and rewarding, with well-planned shore excursions, shopping, sightseeing, and plenty of local color.
We sailed on that ship over there, we sailed on this, and we'll pick this one. Any day. Any day, yeah, any day, because it's so much superior, the food, the whole thing, entertainment.
I'd come on this ship again if I had an opportunity. In fact, I would like to take the trip up to Anchorage
The Sagafjord staff is dedicated to highly personalized service. Here, the intimate elegance of a party held in one's own stateroom with Cunard's vintage champagne and the finest beluga caviar.
Very much for arranging this party.
Well, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Champagne is so romantic.
I wish you would keep me on your list for the next part.
All right. The next trip. Next trip.
Thrilling and men become more willing. Muscles and bumpers tables, shaking feet on their tables. We toast champagne, the essence of essence, the king of effervescence, the king of effervescence. A toast, a toast, a toast.
L'amour.
The diversity of entertainment is great, from the lively to the subdued. 2 orchestras, cabaret and classical artists, like the Marin Opera Company of San Francisco.
Oh yes, Mr. McDougal, good to see you again. Yes, pleasure to have you back again. My pleasure. Good to have you with us.
We're having a very good clientele, world-traveled people, and they're spoiled people. They know what to expect, and they expect it. They are repeating. They come back and back and back. We see them at least once or twice a year.
You have a beautiful ship.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
We really are enjoying this trip.
Glad to hear that.
So they know us, we know them, and it's always nice to see them again, and I'm sure it's the other way around too. They're happy to see us again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you sleep well last night?
The cabin stewardesses are darling, and they are so gracious and so interested in your having everything that you want. It's like having a friend who wants to make your stay particularly comfortable.
Joe Kling, travel agent and cruise specialist, treating her mother to her first cruise.
Cruising is very different from a land-based vacation. There's a camaraderie aboard ship that never happens in a hotel. You feel very much more open. Your defenses, the barriers that you sometimes feel about people in general, particularly if you live in a city or work in crowded buildings, crowded elevators. On a ship, those defenses, barriers, the things between you and other people seem to disappear. People are relaxed. People are their most childlike selves. People all have their best foot forward, enjoy being with one another.
One more time to each side. Pull in, hold it up. Woo! And everyone jog.
Rejuvenate body and spirit at the famous Golden Door Spa at Sea, one of Cunard's exceptional facilities.
So many ships talk about having a health club facility, but this really is superior probably to most of the clubs that people belong to at home.
Okay, let's start the class with feet apart about shoulder width. Toes are facing out on the diagonal. Make sure your knees are bent slightly. Buttocks are tucked, stomach's held in. Nice straight back. Inhale up.
It's a delightful place to be with the whole mirrors, with the new
exhale.
equipment, with the jacuzzi, and the
Now take it
instructors
left
who
and
are
right.
so personable
To the left
and
down.
understanding of each
Right
person's level.
down.
They're very encouraging. They know how to really keep a high spirit up. The camaraderie that develops in the classes. It's really such a pleasure.
5, 6. Now reach your arms toward the ceiling. Add the feet. Touch the toe out to the side.
Since Cunard Line took over ownership and operations of the Sagafjord, they've made some very, very positive improvements in the ship. The addition of the Golden Door facilities on board. Another area where they have upgraded tremendously is in the food and the service. It had always been at a very, very high level, but they seem to have outdone themselves, and they have brought those levels up to a point where we think it's some of the finest presently afloat for people.
We spoke with George Duvall, editor and publisher of Ocean and Cruise News.
I personally was very honored 2 times to award Sagafjord as Ship of the Year, and my personal feeling is that Sagafjord will continue this very fine tradition in the future.
I thank you all for having helped the ship to have such good ratings.
This looks beautiful. Nice color.
That's for lunch today, yeah.
Very nice.
It goes up in the Lido and in the dining room.
Is that for deck lunch?
Deck lunch too, yeah.
It takes 3 days to prepare the sumptuous Norwegian gala buffet, a feast for eyes and palate.
Yeah, that's nice. Please welcome our chefs, led by our chief chef, Flan Schladek. I started here as a chef in 1972.
So, do you have everything here?
I have 13 cooks here, and nationality are Austrians, Germans, Swiss, and Scandinavian for the coal pantry. Altogether, 50.
That's perfect. Thank you.
My Leica meter went crazy on the beach and said, "Can you tell me why I had such trouble?"
One of the best meters in the world for a camera is your little box of Kodachrome or whatever film you use, because if you open the box up, bright or hazy sun on light sand or snow, 125 at f11.
Days at sea offer personal enrichment with noted experts, cooking classes, dancing lessons, bridge seminars, handwriting analysis, lectures on fashion, and how to take better travel photographs.
30th is too slow a speed to shoot at, so I'll set it at 60th at f11.
Yeah, that looks fine. That was much better. Much better? Much better, yeah.
An array of outdoor activities can be enjoyed in the refreshing sea air. Evening begins as the sun meets the horizon with a romantic dance in Club Polaris.
I love the Polaris, the Club Polaris nightclub. I had seen it before in port, but really enjoying a whole evening there. The upstairs and downstairs level makes it a very intimate room to be in, but it's still large enough that everyone can find a really comfortable chair. And the caliber of the performers is surprisingly exciting. It's not just one artist, but several during the course of the evening, and it's so new and sparkling. And I think the best thing is the sliding doors, so you can be outside. You can enjoy the music, you can enjoy being with the late night people, and go in and out or sit right outside and have a little candlelit table. You're able to have the evening at sea with you, even though you're in a nightclub.
The Sagafjord's exciting itineraries are marked by such dramatic events as the day-long passage through the Panama Canal, a highlight of our very personal story. It is a marvel to participate in this transition between two great oceans.
I think I went through the first time in 1950. I've been on the Sagafjord since June the 17th, 1972. That's some 30 years ago. I think she was built for long cruises. That means she has more space, the cabins are bigger. There is another thing, I can't not exactly explain what it is, but you feel more comfortable here than you do on some of the newer ships.
Offering ultra-deluxe cruises of traditional elegance, the Sagafjord sails the globe, a commanding presence wherever she goes, especially in her annual circumnavigation of the world.
The graph lux made by our Scandinavian coal pantry girl is very famous for it, and the demand is great. We make it out of fresh Alaska salmon, and we also have Norwegian salmon on board. We use a lot of this salmon.
The hallmark of luxury cruising is leisurely, single-seating dining. And the Sagafjord is one of very few ships where it can be experienced. Culinary perfection amid panoramic ocean views, an impressive wine cellar, and outstanding personalized service combine to make each meal a much-anticipated experience.
Yes. All right. Salud, dinero y amor y tiempo para gozar.
À votre santé.
Okay. Give my compliments to the chef. Very nice.
One of our favorite presentations, beef Wellington. Each meal is crowned with memorable desserts. One Sagafjord specialty is the rich soufflé Salzburger Knockrel.
Welcome to our Norwegian folk dances. Here they come.
Getting a bit sad when a cruise is getting to an end, but then it's getting exciting when you start a new cruise. You wonder who is coming again, who has been from all the repeaters, and then it's a nice reunion again. In the morning it's a big goodbye, cheers, and in the afternoon it's a big hello, welcome back.
So thrilled to be on board this Cunard line, this Sagafjord. It is a thrill I'll never forget. Hope to bring my husband the next time.
And so the personal story of our elegant voyage on the 5+ star Sagafjord draws to a close.